From Craig Rolson in Europe, David Gerber in Brazil, and our editor-in-chief and publisher, Don Oshman, it's time for this week's Sunday Night Week in Review.
Sunday night, December 15th, 2013, and this will be our last report for the 2013 calendar year. We'll be back in January to begin 2014. My name is Don Oshman. I'm editor-in-chief and publisher of HideNet.com Market Reports, and we invite you to visit our website at www.hidenet.com to find money-making information that you can use. And now to the news, the highlights of the news this week from our reporters in various parts of the world. A European report, Craig Rolson writes that the industry there is in the holiday slowdown, the pre-holiday slowdown, which is normal. And the market is basically steady with little clues as to what's going to happen after Christmas and New Year's. The market is basically at a standstill with a few fluctuations here and there. Craig reported that 32 and up French cows sold down this past week 5 to 10 cents. And also, which might be indicative of this, that and this has been the case for quite some time, if you're a tanner, for example, in Italy, and you can pay cash and you can take shipment that's conducive with the seller's needs, you can probably buy a little bit cheaper. But that's nothing new, because everybody has to position and maintain their inventories from the sell side and the buy side in accordance with the holiday shutdowns. China is showing a little bit of interest, very little interest in Europe, which is depressing prices, but still the market does not go down because people tend to prepare for the holiday slowdown and sell accordingly. And of course, production will be slower during the holidays as well because of holiday closings and the abattoirs. Also, we're finding one thing that is coming, and which is indicative of what's going to happen in 2014, is that lamb and sheep producers are finding less interest than they had before, and there's some pressure on those prices. In North America this week, the market was softly steady, but most selections were down $1. So I would say steady to $1 lower, as our report says. On our report, U.S. Week in Review report, we have 10-month export statistics provided by the Foreign Agricultural Service of the U.S. government. Statistically, raw and wet blue outstandings unchanged, but shipments were off about 6% compared to the previous week. And most important of all was that for the 5th straight week, export sales were below slaughter, and that included Thanksgiving holiday slaughter. So export sales for raw and wet blue hides are not what they need to be to keep the market on an even keel, or for certain make it higher. For the price of a subscription, you can be ahead of your pack and know all this information, which will affect your trading and give you a leg up. What's that worth? In Latin America this week, prices were steady again, and the business there, as much as in Europe, is grinding to a halt as everybody prepares for long Christmas, New Year's holiday shutdowns. $1.75 for Brazilian TR1 full substance is still the target price, but the people are not waiting in line to pay it. And sales are taking below it, $1.70, $1.72, $3, $4, somewhere in there, it depends. Split market is strong. There's some new highs in some Latin American countries, which we report on in our report. And also other statistical information for the year as 2013 is winding down. And this week in leather, we have ability so you can log in to get the United States Hide, Skin, and Leather new video, which pictures a terrific video which shows how hides are processed in America, how they're selected, the cattle, the leather, the whole thing. Everybody who sees it thinks it's a wonderful thing, and it's available at HideNet.com by clicking on the link. There's also a report in This Week in Leather on the Fuxian China Leather Fair, their first edition, which took place last week. Also, there's an excellent report by Peter Mangione of the third quarter American footwear, imports, exports, production worldwide. If you want to know about footwear, you want to know what Peter Mangione writes, and in this case, exclusively for HideNet. Excellent statistical data there. Also, there's a report, speaking of footwear, on the FFANY show in New York, the upper scale shoe show, and another statistic on Chinese car sales, which are doing terrific, and another story how a French tannery has been bought up by one of the most prestigious handbag producers in the world because they want to assure their supply of lambskin in this particular case. Again, this will be our last video until January. We wish you all a wonderful, wonderful holiday, and we're going to be taking a break too, so we're going to come back and be refreshed and have a very profitable year in 2014. That's what we want for you, and you can get that by subscribing to HideNet. Thanks for watching.